Hi, I'm Mike. Each year I fly about 125,000 miles around the world, visiting tons of different continents. In this series, you'll get to come along with me on some amazing adventures. I'll be visiting anywhere from Asia to Europe to places right here in the United States. In each city, you'll get to see the way of life through shopping, wandering around the streets, and eating all the local cuisine has to offer. So buckle up because we're taking off for some unforgettable journeys. For the last week, I've been exploring Singapore and Tokyo. In this first episode, I'll show you what I did, where I ate, and where I stayed here in Singapore. Sitting just 85 miles north of the equator, Singapore has a climate that stays constant year-round. With that, however, it does come rain just about every day, whether it just be for a few minutes or sometimes all day, depending on the time of year. This year, Singapore turned 200 years old, but you wouldn't know by looking around. Only gaining their independence 60 years ago from the UK makes them a relatively new nation. Looking around, you see all of the modern buildings, especially in the CBD. What makes Singapore so unique is the mix of traditions that goes back hundreds of years, mixed with architecture that is relatively new. The food is definitely one thing that keeps me coming back to Singapore, and this is one perfect example of it. This is the Maxwell Food Center in Chinatown. Another great place to visit in Singapore is Marina Bay. It's probably one of the most famous places in the country. From Marina Bay Sands to Merlion Park to the Marina Mall, there's no lack of things to do in this part of town. During lunchtime, this part of town is filled with people enjoying great food and sometimes just taking a nap. But it's great to just walk through here and take everything in it has to offer. Last time I came to Singapore, I stayed at the Marina Bay Sands, but this time I wanted to stay somewhere more unique, so I picked the Hotel Soloha in Chinatown. This is one of my favorite stops in Singapore. This is Gardens by the Bay Cloud Forest. I enjoyed it so much that I even got a membership to Gardens by the Bay. There's many different things to do here, but this is by far one of the most calming and interesting parts to visit. Now here is just the start and the entrance. I've posted the whole video on my YouTube channel, but here's just a quick walkthrough for now. The next stop while at Gardens by the Bay is the Flower Dome. Coming here in April, it was great, so I knew I wanted to come back, and this time they had the Christmas theme, which was even better. This was a great place to visit, walk around, and get to see all the Christmas lights, as well as some of the flowers that they have year-round. Here is just going to be a quick walkthrough, but on my YouTube channel you can see the full walkthrough of the entire place. Since I was staying in Chinatown this time, I decided to take a walk down Pagoda Street at night. It is crazy the amount of sights, smells, and people that you see here at night. Your head just keeps turning from one side to the other to see what is going on. Even though I just eaten dinner, seeing all these restaurants really wanted me to have another meal. But I didn't do that. I did stick to just walking around. But next time I definitely want to try some of the restaurants here in Chinatown. It's always great to go to a hawker center, but this is also a great place to come in Singapore to grab a meal. Even though it's about 9:30, 10 p.m. at night, this place is so lively and there's tons of people just eating so much great food that they have here. They have everything from German to Chinese to Japanese to Indian. Anything you could think of you could have here pretty much at any time that night. And not only is there great food here, but there's tons of authentic souvenirs to choose from. I mean, now some might not be the most authentic, however, there's tons of items to choose from, so I'm sure you could find things to bring back with you. Now this part of Chinatown I found the most fascinating. It has a roof overhead so it looks like you're almost inside, and then it also replicates the buildings that are right outside, where my hotel looked just like this. It was great because there are just tons of people lined eating every different type of food that they have here. Obviously, mostly Asian, as it is in Chinatown, but it was great to just walk by everything, take in the sights and sounds, and of course, the smells. The next day I decided to go to Merlion Park. Last time I was in Singapore back in April. Unfortunately it was closed for renovations, so I didn't get to see it. So this time I made it a point that I was going to see the Merlion Park. As you walk along, you can see the Marina Bay Sands across the water. On the other side, onto the left, you have the F1 racetrack, and then to the right, CBD is right there. It is a great, amazing view that you cannot get anywhere else. As you get closer and closer, the more and more people that there are right around here. However, you can walk out right along here. The Merlion is right to your right, which is awesome. And then you still have CBD, Marina Bay Sands, and the racetrack to the left. It's a great experience right here. I've never seen a view like this anywhere else, where there's so much going on around you. And there's the Merlion in all its beauty. And then here's a panoramic shot from this angle right here, from left to right. Time for lunch, and I'm stopping at my two favorite places that I love going to every time that I'm in Singapore. This meal is going to be amazing. This was by far a much needed stop for me. Last time I came to Singapore in April, I made sure to get the char kway teow. This time I made sure to get it again because it was one of my favorite dishes that I've ever had here. It is so unique. I mean, it is just a ton of fat basically and noodles, but when it's fried and charred, it is incredible. Along there is also fishball noodle soup, and then you also get noodles when you get the fishball noodle soup. This entire meal was about 8 Singapore dollars, and this will beyond fill you. I barely finished it. I'm a little early today so I can make sure I got everything in time. It's probably the best thing I've ever had in my life. Food is just so good. All this $7.50 Singapore. And as you can see now, the line has already started to grow at pretty much all of them. Still have a ways to go with my food, thankfully. As I ride back to the airport, I just can't help thinking about when I'll be here next. So half the fun of the trip for me is actually being in the airports and on the airplane itself. So of course I had to include a little walkthrough of the Singapore airport right after customs. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next videos.